Now, as much as we may enjoy spending so much time in the gym, it's not like we got other responsibilities we got to take care of. Some of you got work, school, internship, just other responsibilities we got to take care of. So today, I'm going to show you how to minimize your time in the gym while still maximizing the amount of results you'll get. What's up, everyone? David here. Got a new video for you today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you miss out on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. Now, before we get into it, if you haven't already, go ahead and check out this video. I posted it last week about the issue of not having time to work out. Pretty much the main emphasis of that video was if you really want it bad enough, you'll find a way to make it happen. You don't have to spend so much time in the gym. If you could even work out 10 minutes throughout the day, that's better than nothing. Do what you can with the very limited time that you have, because again, something is better than nothing. Now, you can think of this video right here as essentially the part 2 of that video. Let's just say you actually do make the time in the gym to make it, to get a good workout in. Now that you're here, I don't want you wasting any time. And the 3 things we're gonna be going over today are probably things that you're doing that are gonna increase the amount of time that you're in the gym. And again, if you're complaining about time, complaining about not having to work out, then stop wasting it. So today, once we actually step foot in the gym, what are the small things that you're unaware of that you're doing that are causing you to spend an excess amount of time within the facility, within the gym, that are not necessary? Again, you're supposed to go in, put in the work, get out. When it comes to seeing results, it's not about the quantity of time you spent working out. It's about the quality. So today we're gonna cut out all the fluff. And realistically, the first area where everyone wastes so much time when it comes to being in the gym, because again, you shouldn't be spending 2.5, 3 hours working out each day, is simply where you begin with your warm-up. Again, what exactly is the whole point of the warm-up? It's to prep the body to get ready to lift heavy weight, to be put through a good and decent hard workout. So when it comes to whatever exercise it is that you're doing, if it is your first muscle group that you're working, then obviously you want to go ahead and warm up. So for today, I want to be working out arms. My first movement of the day is going to be barbell curls. So I'm going to go ahead and warm up. And so many times, everyone, what do they do for the warm-up? They feel the need to foam roll, to do some type of dynamic stretching, some mobility work, grab the bands. There's just so much that goes into their warm-up. But when you really think about it, is it necessary? Are you really that stiff in the first place? If you're not, then no. In my opinion, one of the best ways that you can warm up to not only save time, but actually get the true benefit of what a warm-up is meant for, is simply just do the exercise it is that you have planned already, but just at a lighter weight. And each time that you're gonna go again, just simply increase the weight. So in this case, I'm gonna go ahead, start light, just like with the bar, get a couple reps in, and then afterwards, increase the weight. And I'm gonna keep going each and every time. Another thing, when it comes to your warm-up sets, you do not need to rest so much time in between warm-up sets. Because by definition, a warm-up set is just a warm-up. It shouldn't be fatiguing. You're prepping yourself for the true hard working sets. Those are the ones that are gonna be fatiguing. I see so many people, they start off with one weight, all right? They get it, and they sit around for 5 minutes before they do their next warm-up set. No, realistically, with your warm-up sets, once you're done loading up the weight, once you're done increasing it, you should be able to jump straight into it afterwards. So in this case, I'm gonna be minimizing the amount of time I'm resting in between my warm-up sets, because again, they're warm-ups. You shouldn't be fatiguing yourself with those. Now, when would you take a rest? I would say right before you do your top set. So again, your whole point of a warm-up is to actually get you going to whatever that good working weight is. Because again, warm-up sets are not gonna get you any results, which is also part of the reason why you're wasting time. You're spending so much time doing these warm-up sets, they're not gonna be getting you anything in return. They're not gonna make your muscles bigger. No, they're gonna help get you ready for the good sets, which will then really help build up the muscle. So as you saw, I did a warm-up set with the bar, warm-up set with a 10, then another warm-up set with 2 10s. This weight right here, now this is what's gonna be getting me results, because now it's actually heavy enough to go ahead and give me some good control. Now, Once I'm done with this, then we could talk about the other concept about warm-ups or just a slight variation of it. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick drop set, get as many reps as I can with this weight, drop a 10, get another quick drop set, and then just keep going down until I'm down to the bar. All AMRAPs. That's it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, do 2 more of those, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so finished with all 3 sets of the bicep curls. Now I'm gonna move on to some tricep pushdowns. I'm gonna be alternating between biceps, triceps. Big thing here, continuing on with the concept of warm-ups, because again, I believe this is one of the areas where you're wasting the most amount of time. If you're gonna be moving on to an exercise where you're working a different muscle group now, then yes, spend some time warming up and go about it the same way as I explained before. Start off with a couple reps of that exercise with a light weight, and then each time start increasing the amount of weight. That's one of the best ways you can warm up. You don't have to do all this mobility work. If it's not needed, you can do it at the end of your workout, some stretching afterwards. You don't have to do so much foam rolling to loosen up the muscles. Please address why you're that stiff in the first place. You probably need to be moving around more throughout the rest of the day. But if it's a new muscle group, then yes, take all the necessary time to warm up. Because again, it is a new muscle group. It has not been through much movement yet. There's no blood flow through it. So yes, we want to try to avoid injuries. I'm working triceps, haven't done it before, so I'm going about it the same way. And I'm gonna keep doing some drop sets. Now I warmed up, this is gonna be my first good working set. Notice how I didn't rest between the warm-up sets because they're not fatiguing. My triceps don't feel fatigued yet. But what I am gonna do now is work on my first working sets, because again, working sets are the ones that give you results. You're wasting too much time with the warm-up sets and you're not gonna get any results out of it. Get as many as I can with this heavy weight and then just start decreasing the weight each time. Same thing, drop sets. So this is gonna be my first one. One more. Okay, we're just breezing right through it. Again, drop sets, one of the best ways to get a lot of work done in the least amount of time possible. Okay, no, that's it. All right, so I'm gonna do that 2 more times, and then I'll go ahead and bring up my last point in regards to warm-ups. All right, so just finished off with those 3 sets of the tricep pushdowns. So I got 1 bicep exercise, 1 tricep exercise, both out the way. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna superset bicep curls with overhead tricep extensions. I am not going to warm up for these, and this is the last point of warm-ups that I talked about. At this point, and I see this so many times in the gym, when you're moving on from one exercise where you're working a particular muscle group, they move on to a different exercise of the same muscle group. So it could be moving on from bench press to incline press. It could be moving on from squats to leg extensions. Whatever that second exercise is, although you're working the same muscle groups, I see too many people, they start off light, do a couple of warm-up sets, peaking up, and then they get their good working weight. They get their good working sets in. But there's really no need to start off light because the muscle groups are already warmed up. If you're working the same muscle in the next exercise, just jump straight into a good hard set. So in this case, my biceps are already warmed up from the barbell curls that I did. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump straight into, for me, what is considered a good weight for me. So in this case, I'm gonna do some alternating curls with the 30-pound dumbbells. My triceps are already, fatigued, or not fatigued, but they're already warmed up because, you know, they've just been worked from the tricep pushdowns. So now when I do my overhead extension with a dumbbell, I'm just gonna jump straight into a 95. Because again, I don't need to spend time warming up the same muscle groups that were just warmed up. Now, if I decide to jump into, let's just say, a shoulder exercise, then yeah, I'll start off light because I haven't worked my shoulder up until this point. But the fact that both of these muscle groups have already had 3 good hard working sets each, I'm good to go to jump straight into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and superset it, do 3 sets, and then I'll talk about the next point on how to save time. So 3 sets done with that. Got a good pump in the biceps and triceps. I did have to lower the weight a bit on the overhead extensions. 95 was too much. The reps were looking a little sloppy. So I just lowered it down to 85 and we're good to go. So that brings me now to the next point. I'm gonna be supersetting wrist extensions to work the outer part of the forearm with wrist curls to work the inner part. Now, supersets, you just saw me do it with the bicep and tricep exercise. That is also another great way to save time in the gym. I see so many people, they always work just one muscle group or one exercise, I should say, at a time, which is that bad? No, not necessarily. If you have the time for it, if that's your preference, go for it. But for many of us, you know, we're on a time crunch. Got to go to work, got to go to school, got to pick up the kids. You know, there's other responsibilities we got to take care of. We can't always just be taking our time. As much as we may enjoy being in the gym all day, every day, it's just unreasonable. So supersetting is one of the great ways to go about it. But the thing is, you got to make sure you're doing it correctly. Go ahead and superset 2 opposing muscle groups. You shouldn't be supersetting 2 exercises that work the same muscle group. So you shouldn't be supersetting leg extensions right after lunges, because again, those are both working the quads. Essentially, you're not doing 2 sets of quads. You're just doing one very long set of quads. Not only that, but the quality of reps you'll be getting out of the second exercise is not going to be that great, because the muscle group that you're working is already fatigued from the first exercise that you did. So always pick 2 exercises where the muscle groups do not interfere with each other. They don't have to be opposites. You don't always have to do biceps superset with triceps or quads superset with hamstrings. It could be any group of muscles as long as they're just not, you know, interfering with each other. So you could superset lat pull downs with laterals. Shoulders and back are not necessarily opposites or opposing muscle groups, but how hard you push yourself on laterals for your side delts is not gonna affect how hard you can push yourself with pull downs for your lats. So in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and do both sides of the forearms, because again, it's different muscle groups, different functions. One will not interfere with how fatigued the next one will be. So I'll start off with my wrist curls, again, working the big ball of the forearm. And what I like to do with these is, not only do I let my hand down, but I actually let it roll down to my fingertips. So essentially it's like 2 movements. First, roll it up your fingers, and then second movement, curl up your entire hand. Good work for the forearms. Get all the reps with one, and then get all the reps with the other. And also, this is another way to save time. You can go ahead and do unilateral exercises, one arm or one leg working at a time. While one side is resting, the other side can be working. Boom, just jump back and forth, back and forth. But in this case, when I jump back to the other arm, it'll now be for the other side of the forearm, different muscle group. If you are gonna be training forearms, don't neglect the outer part. Everyone always works the wrist curls, the big beefy part of your forearm. No one ever works the outside. Both are equally as important. There's a muscle group here for a reason. Train it like any other muscle group. So there you go with that. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 more sets of it. Again, supersetting, opposing muscle groups, great way to save time. So last point as it pertains to saving time when it comes to your workout, because again, we can't be here every day. It's not necessarily what you do during the workout, it's what you do when you're resting. These little guys right here. This is the reason why you're spending so much endless time in the gym when it's not necessary. The whole point is to come in, get the gains, leave. Now, the thing is, although it's important to rest in between sets, you're resting for too long. And it's not necessarily because you need that extra rest, it's because you're getting distracted. And it's not even just with the phones. It could be the side conversations you're having with your friends, the person that's next to you. Keep in mind, yes, obviously, the harder the exercise, the bigger and stronger the muscle group it is that you're training, the more rest you're gonna be needing. But you look at the research, realistically, even after a good hard working set, for even a hard exercise like heavy back squats, 3 to 5 minutes rest in between working sets, that's enough time. But many of you, you're spending way too much time, even past the 5-minute mark. Half the time it's because you're wasting too much time scrolling through social media. Other times it could be just because you're talking too much to other people. Again, be in the zone, get the work done. Now, let's just say you do keep it to 3 to 5 minutes because it was a good, hard working set. Okay, what about the other exercises? Right now, I'm resting between sets for forearms. Realistically, forearm training is not that exhausting. It's not that hard when you really think about it. So I don't need a whole 5 minutes to rest. No, realistically, give me a minute, minute and a half at most, and I'm good to go. Hell, right now, I'm probably ready to hit another set. Again, start gauging it like that. The harder the exercise is, okay, the more you're gonna lean towards those 3 to 5 minutes rest. But the smaller the muscle group, you don't need that much rest time. Again, if you have to set a timer, go for it. Set a timer, but try to minimize the amount of time you spent on the phone. Again, 1 scroll leads to 2. Next thing you know, you're spending 10 minutes scrolling, and then the person that comes up to you asking you how many sets you have left, it's like, hey, you've been here for a minute. Come on now. You're wasting too much time. If you're really that much on a time crunch, minimize the distractions and do what it is that you have to do. You're there to work out. You can only work out in the gym. You can't work out at home because you don't have weights there, but you can scroll on your phone from anywhere because you always have your phone anywhere you go. So there you have it, everyone. Full arm workout recorded, along with giving you 3 great tips on how to save time in the gym. Yes, we all enjoy working out. Yes, it's the best part of our day, but we got other responsibilities we got to take care of throughout the day. Although you made the time to actually step foot inside of the gym, now we can't be spending and wasting more time in there. We got to get in and got to get out. First thing, warm-ups. Understand when they're appropriate. If it's your first exercise working that particular muscle group, okay, spend a couple of warm-up sets working up to that good weight and then get all your good quality sets in and then move on to the next exercise. If the next exercise works the same muscle group, don't warm up, just jump straight into it. You're already good to go. If it's a different muscle group, then yes, start all over, warm up, because we don't want to, have an injury. We don't want to pop something. We don't want to tear something, but gauge it accordingly. Again, warm-ups, biggest way that people waste time. Afterwards, you got a lot of exercises you got to do. Okay, they work different muscle groups. Start supersetting. While one muscle is working, the other one's resting, jump back and forth, boom, you'll get more done in half the time. And then lastly, what do you do in between sets? You rest. How much rest you need is going to vary from exercise to exercise, but nothing more than 3 to 5 minutes for good, hard working sets. Minimize the distractions, minimize the conversations, stay off your phone, get in, get out. When it comes to working out and getting results, it's not about the quantity of time you spend in the gym, it's about the quality of the time. And too many times we're too fixated on quantity. Yeah, I spent 2 hours in the gym, but realistically, half that time was just useless. You were just wasting it. So take that into consideration. Comment down below if this video was helpful, and comment down below any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help y'all out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new videos, because remember, new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And then Instagram and TikTok, if TikTok is still a thing by then, go ahead and follow me on both accounts. And if you want to go ahead and support this channel, then go ahead and click on the membership down below. I got all my links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.